Hello, I'm Dr. Crawford. Today I'm going to talk about leaky gut syndrome. It seems as though more and more people know about leaky gut because they ask me about it all the time. It's not totally understood by many. And it is a new topic to a lot of people when I bring it up. But I'm just finding that more and more people, as they become more self-educated about health issues, they've seen the term, they understand it somewhat, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to expand on exactly what leaky gut is, what it causes, and some of the treatments to fix it. So basically what we're talking about when we talk about leaky gut syndrome is we're talking about an irritated lining of the small intestine. The small intestine is not a thick tube, as a lot of people think. It's a very thin membrane, and it's lined with these microvilli that play a very important role in digestion, particularly of sugars, carbohydrates, disaccharides, and the absorption of nutrients. But what happens is as the lining of the intestines gets more and more irritated, these microvilli actually disappear. And as they disappear, we're left with this naked membrane that is very thin, it's irritated, and it can actually develop deep cracks to where foodstuff actually can seep out into circulation where it's not supposed to be. There's a lot of inflammation that goes along with this, and as this foodstuff leaks out, it now becomes antigenic. It's a foreign invader to the body, no different than a virus or a bacteria. The body will actually attach an antibody to the antigen, and we now have what is called a circulating immune complex that is now in circulation. And we'll talk about some of the effects of that here in a minute. But, how do we know, if this is going on? Well, I've heard one person say leaky gut is just a matter of degrees. Everybody has it. It's just a matter of severity. And that's probably true, at least, the majority of people to one degree or another, at least at times, have had problems with leaky gut. Indigestion is one of the symptoms. Definitely we can have pain, we can have indigestion, we can have bloating, we can have cramping, loss of appetite. One of the things that I've heard from patients over the years many times is they'll say things like, doctor, I just wish that I didn't have to eat. I feel so bad after I eat. I don't enjoy eating. Most of the time, that's a pretty good indication that there's a leaky gut syndrome happening there. Now, these circulating immune complexes can cause allergy symptoms. They can cause certainly toxicity. And remember that anything that the body cannot eliminate, it will store. So they will try to be eliminated by the kidneys. It'll cause kidney stress. The molecules are too big for the kidneys to filter. Kidney stress can be a symptom. And if the kidneys can't eliminate, they'll get dumped back into the lymphatics, and we have lymphatic congestion can take place, et cetera, et cetera. And like I say, we can have allergy symptoms. Our immune system gets wore down because it's activated by these CICs on an ongoing basis. Now, they'll get stored in the joints first in the body. This is one of the causes of arthritis. Arthritis can start in the gut. So we have these CICs that can't be eliminated. They get stored in the joints, and they continually create an inflammatory response in the joints. So part of what needs to happen there to fix the arthritis is to fix the gut. What are some of the causes of leaky gut syndrome? Certainly a bad diet. Junk food diet, guaranteed that will cause it. an inability to digest food, undigested food getting to the small intestines. It's not readily handled, can cause a lot of irritation. At least 35% of the carbohydrate should be digested before it even gets to the intestines. But almost every adult has digestive incompetencies. That's one of the causes. Medicines, antibiotics, and other medicines definitely can cause irritation. Stress is very inflammatory to the gut. It's estimated that about 75% of the American population has gotten ulcerative colitis at some time in their life, generally during a very stressful period. We know the connection between ulcers and stress, etc. So stress is very inflammatory. The wrong diet, a high sugar junk food diet, like I said, is just a kiss of death for a good intestinal health. The small intestine is where carbohydrates and sugars are primarily digested, absorbed. So we want a low sugar diet, not a high sugar diet, which most Americans are on. We want a very low grain diet, not a high grain diet, which most Americans are on. We want a low chemical diet. Chemicals like MSG are not a good thing for the intestines. And of course, that's the American fast food diet is just laden with MSG. Artificial sugars, bad news, bad news. So basically, the safest diet, sugars that are the safest for the intestines would be honey. Doesn't require small intestine function for digestion and absorption. Fruit sugar is also very safe. And as far as the grains go, for most people, white rice is the safest grain. I realize there's exceptions to that rule as well, but the wheat flour and the other grains, good idea to get rid of those as we get this healed up. Now, some of the remedies to heal up the intestines. So these are some of my favorite remedies. One of them is colostrum. Colostrum is what's found in the first milk, if you will. I had an instructor years ago, and I never forgot this statement. He said, if you have not been breastfed, you will always have a weakness in your intestinal tract. And I think he was really onto something. We need that first milk so importantly. Colostrum gets our immune system going, and it's very healing to the gut. It's very anti-pathogen. It actually helps keep the yeast and fungus down and other bacteria, etc. So colostrum is very important. Now, even if you have not been breastfed, you didn't get that first milk, you can still get colostrum as a supplement, and I have found it to be extremely valuable. People with leaky gut, people with diarrhea, irritable bowel symptoms, colostrum is a wonderful supplement. Lactoferrin is another one, especially for immunity. Lactoferrin is found in the body's secretions, saliva, for example. It's also in the first milk, and lactoferrin is also available, and I highly recommend it for a lot of people. It also is wonderful for the immune system. It has antibacterial properties, antiviral, anti-yeast and fungus. Great stuff. Glutamine, L-glutamine, is an amino acid that helps the cells renew to heal up the gut. These cells are overturning on an ongoing basis, and what happens with leaky gut is we're not able to make new gut cells fast enough. We have problems taking place that are eroding our supply of cells faster than we can replenish them. L-glutamine helps us make new cells, and it's marvelous. It works very well. It works very quickly. And L-glutamine is also needed for our muscles, and our muscles are actually a storehouse for L-glutamine. But here's what happens. If we're having such stress in the intestinal tract, that we need the glutamine so desperately, we will actually rob from the supply in our muscles in order to help heal up our gut. So now what happens is we have fatigue. We have muscle fatigue along with digestive stress. Hear that a lot. One of the #1 complaints of patients today is fatigue. This is one of the reasons it's coming from the gut. And I want to mention along those lines, because L-glutamine also helps the immune system, as does the colostrum and the lactoferrin. Over 70% of the body's immune system lines the intestinal tract. A lot of people aren't aware of that. So gut immunity is of paramount importance to overall health. Paramount importance. It's one of the biggest things that's dragging down the wellness of most people, and it's ignored a lot. And I think it should be at the top of the priority list. So L-glutamine. L-glutamine also helps with our stress tolerance. Again, stress is one of the biggest factors affecting good gut health. L-glutamine. Another of my favorite supplements for gut health is quercetin. Quercetin is a flavonoid that has fantastic antioxidant capabilities. In other words, it's anti-inflammatory to the gut. It also has other great benefits. It's good for the cardiovascular system and a lot of other things. But the big thing here is it decreases inflammation. And that's what a lot of people have going on, is a lot of inflammation. Quercetin also helps with liver stress. So if we've got inflammation in the gut and liver stress happening, quercetin many times is the key to getting us to the next level of wellness, if you will. The next favorite remedy of mine is called N-acetylglucosamine. It's a carbohydrate that actually has healing capabilities to help the leaky gut heal up, and also boost the immune system, the secretory IgA part of the immune system that lines the intestines. So I hope you found that valuable. I encourage you to go to my website and like us on Facebook. So until next time, take care.